Welcome to Xara template tutorial lesson number 49. In this tutorial we're going to focus on the animation features within Xara. So if you haven't already, go ahead and start a blank new animation in Xara, and I'll show you how to accomplish that. The first thing that you'll do is go to your upper left hand corner menu for File, left click on that, go to New, and then your menu will pop out and you'll select the option Animation by left clicking on it. Once you select that, the first thing that you'll notice is that you get a blank workspace like you normally do. And also to the right of that, you'll see a gallery for Animation Frame Gallery, which is right here. And those will be the two things that you'll want to keep in mind when working with the animation, is your Animation Frame Gallery and your blank workspace to complete your animation. So the first thing I want you to do is go to your toolbar and select a quick shape. Doesn't matter what quick shape you choose, whichever one you prefer. In this case, I'm going to choose the circle or the ellipse tool, and I'm going to draw a circle in my workspace here, and I'm going to give it a different color. In this case, I'm going to make it maybe a light greenish blue. And also, let's go back to our toolbar and select the selection tool, and then go to the edge of the right side of your page in your workspace until you get the left and right arrow that you see right here, and we're going to drag that out by left clicking and drag, and we're going to drag that outward to increase the width of our page. And once you increase the width of your page, let's go ahead and focus on the Animation Frame Gallery. The first thing you'll see in here is that it'll say frame 1 display for 5 seconds. And what frame 1 is basically it's a snapshot of your animation, and every frame that you complete after this is an additional snapshot of your animation. So right now we're in frame 1, which is the very first snapshot of your animation, and it will display for 0.5 seconds because it says display for 0.5 seconds. And I apologize if I said 5 seconds earlier, I don't remember for sure, but here you'll see that it says display for 0.5 seconds. So it's going to display for 0.5 seconds for the first snapshot, which is frame 1. Now before we go ahead and do anything else, we've got to give this circle a name. And the reason that we have to give it a name is because any objects that you want to animate in your animation have to have a name. So let's apply a name to this circle, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to go to your name tag icon in your standard toolbar here, and you're going to select that name icon. And when you select it, it'll bring up a dialog box that says names, and under the section where it says apply name, we'll give it a name. You can name it whatever you want, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to call it circle. And once you type in the word circle or whatever name you applied, we'll hit the add button. So left click on that, and under the section where it says names applied, you'll see that it says circle. And once you've made those changes, we'll go ahead and close this dialog box. And after you've closed that dialog box, the next thing that we're going to do is copy this current frame or the first snapshot of our animation. And the way that we would do that is go to the Animations Frame Gallery and click on the copy frame option or button. So left click on that, and you'll see that it makes frame 2, and it'll say display for 0.5 seconds. And if you click on any of these frames, you'll see that nothing changes in your workspace. That's because we made an exact copy of frame 1 onto frame 2. So it has the same exact circle in frame 2 in the same exact position. But in frame 2, we're going to actually move this circle over to the right. So move it all the way over to the right, and also make it smaller. And after you make it smaller, let's go ahead and change that color to maybe a red or whatever color that you want to make it. It's up to you. And once you've made those changes, let's go back to frame 1 in our Animation Frame Gallery. So select frame 1, and you'll see that in frame 1 we have that same circle with the greenish blue color, and it's the same size that it was originally. But if you click on frame 2, you see a different snapshot. The snapshot for frame 2 shows a small circle with the color red. But whether you believe it or not, these two circles are the same exact circle. The only difference is we changed the size and we changed the color in frame 2 to be red in a smaller circle. So to prove that these circles are the same circle, I'm going to left click on it in frame 1, and you'll see that I'm already currently in frame 1. And when you click on that bluish green circle, go ahead and go to your name tag icon. And when you left click on that, it brings up the names dialog. And under the section it says names applied, and you'll see that it has circle there. If you go to frame 2, and I'm going to move my dialog box over a little bit, and if you select that red circle that's smaller, you'll see that it says names applied circle, and that means that it's the same circle. We just made some changes to the size and the color and the positioning. So close that out, and now I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen. Let's go to frame 1. In frame 1, you're going to have this as your starting snapshot for your animation, a big blue greenish circle, and then this circle is going to move all the way over to the right, and Xara is going to make all the calculations for the in-between parts from this green bluish circle to frame 2's red small circle. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like if you go to File, Preview. So go to File, Preview Flash, and you'll see that it transitions from the big bluish green circle to a small red. But you'll notice it's really fast and it's really hard to see that animation on screen. So let's go ahead and close out this preview, and I'm going to show you how to slow that down. In frame 1, you see that it says display for 0.5 seconds in the animation frame gallery. So go ahead and double left click on that, and it brings up your animation properties. And under the part where it says local delay, you'll see an option that says display this frame for, and then the number of seconds. We're going to change that to about 4 seconds and hit apply, and then close. And you'll see that in your animations frame gallery, it updates that to say frame 1 display for 4 seconds. So let's go back to File, Preview Flash, and look how slow it goes to transition to the small red circle. So now you can see the transition taking place very slowly from bluish green to a small red circle. So that's how you make a very basic animation transition in Xara. And these same steps would apply if you were dealing with text. So let me show you that as well. But before I show you how to do that with text, I'm going to show you something else that you can add to your animation. Let's go to frame 2. So make sure you have frame 2 selected, and let's select that red circle by left clicking on it, and then go to your toolbar to the transparency tool, and under your transparency type or shape, we're going to select flat, and you'll notice that our red circle is now kind of transparent. Let's go up to our info bar here, and we're going to make it a little bit more transparent, almost to the point where you can't see it on the screen. And now let's go to our animation frame gallery, and we're going to change the display time to about 4 seconds again, and hit apply and hit close. And so now it's going to display both frame 1 and frame 2 for just 4 seconds. So let's go to File, Preview Flash, and you'll see that not only does it change colors, but it also fades out. So it's kind of transparent and changing colors during this transition. So you can apply transparencies, but it has to be a flat transparency. You cannot apply other types of transparencies to your objects when you're doing animations. So just remember to always have the option flat selected when you're doing a transparency if you want to apply a transparency in your animation. So now let's go back to our animation frame gallery and select frame 2, and this time we're going to hit new, because we don't really need to copy this frame, we're going to start making our text animation. So in frame 3, we start with a blank snapshot. And this time we're going to type some text. So in your toolbar, select the text tool, and then I'm going to write Xara tutorial. And I'm going to make this text a little bit bigger, like maybe that big. And after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and give it a name, just like we did for the other objects. And we're going to call it text. Just for the simplicity of this tutorial, hit add, and it'll add it to your names applied. Close. And then we're going to copy this frame by hitting the copy option in the animation frame gallery. And then we're going to move that text all the way over to the right, and we're going to make it really small, and again we're going to make it the color red. So you're going to have really small text that's red. And we're going to change the frame 3 display to 4 seconds. So change it to 4 seconds, hit apply, close, and then frame 4 for our last transition for the text. We're going to double left click on that, change it to 4 seconds for the display this frame 4, hit apply, close, and then we're going to go to File, Preview Flash. And you'll see that it transitions the big green bluish circle to a small red circle that's trying to transparent. And then our text will transition to a small red text from a big black text. So that's how you make animations in the Xara software. Again, this was just a brief introduction. It is by no means a complete overview of how to do animations in Xara. I just wanted to kind of give you a starting place to kind of experiment and see what you can make with the animation system within Xara. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe if this tutorial was helpful. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know how we're doing. And again, if you have any questions, or if you'd like to see a tutorial made for a specific feature in Xara, do not hesitate. We will take it very seriously and do our best to make that happen for you. Thanks for viewing this tutorial.